Hello everyone and welcome back to the Oasis.
The entertainment Oasis, come here.
Come here.
Hey, I want to tell you something.
We got another topic for you.
We do, we have another topic. Another topic.
It's a good one.
It's a good one, come here.
Don't tell anybody. We're going to be talking about comic book characters that should have gotten their show a long ass fucking time ago.
Exactly.
Long ass time ago.
Ooh, that hurt my knees.
Oh man. Ooh, you're getting old.
I'm getting old.
What?
Jeez.
What'd you do?
Jeez.
Yeah.
Anyways, as we've gently whispered in your ear, we're going to be talking about comic book characters that we feel need their own live action movie or TV show.
Yep. And I think this topic kind of came to us with all the controversy, like some people about characters who have a very well established identity or whatever, and people are complaining about like, oh, they're changing their backstory or they're changing what country they're from or something. And we got to thinking, why the heck have certain characters, popular ones even from back in the day, have not gotten their break yet, or their show yet, or even a live action movie yet? And I think the biggest one, I gotta give it a Static Shock.
Okay, so that's who you want to see live action?
Hardcore. Honestly, I think it's criminal that they haven't come out with something yet. Either even like a sequel. I wouldn't mind seeing the show revived, like for another season, or like maybe, I don't know, something like 10 years into the future, something like that. Even a movie, whether it be animated or live action, I would love to see it, because that show actually touched up on a lot of like real stuff that happens in real life. It touched up on like, I know racism was a thing in that show. It also like touched up on the whole, and of course this one's more common, about how like struggling with like the identity, and then once you get superpowers, how it can kind of go to your head and whatnot. But I thought the show was really good, and for the life of me, I can't figure out why they haven't expanded upon it. Yeah,
and I think Static Shock would be a really great live action show.
Me too.
Maybe not a movie.
Not yet. Maybe not yet. Maybe like if they make it a show first and see how good it does, maybe they can put it into a movie.
But maybe they can make it something similar to Titans. What is it? The DC Universe app created that, and Doom Patrol, because they have really they are made really well. It's very different than like your like the Flash or Arrow TV shows that air on CW. The ones that now I guess HBO Max is developing have a more mature, darker feel to them. And I feel like something like Static Shock could benefit from something like that. Maybe not overly dark, but having that production quality.
I wouldn't mind it being dark. Because I feel like that's the direction DC has been heading ever since the Dark Knight series. Yeah. So I'm like, who cares? Just embrace it. You know, nowadays, I don't know. Like I feel, because superheroes start off as like comics for kids, right? Yeah. But now it's got such a wide audience that like, I mean, look at the Joker movie. That movie was rated R. It was based off of not even a comic book hero. It was based off a comic book villain, and it broke $1 billion in box sales. So if that doesn't say that, you know, the audience for superhero movies has matured, I don't know what does. I like that direction, because, like I said, to me, I feel like the cartoon show touched up on a lot of like adult topics, like serious things that people do go through in their lives. So make it as dark as you want. That's my thing.
Okay. But yeah, I'd get behind a Static Shock TV show. That'd be so great.
For sure.
Now for me, and this is, I'm still gonna keep it DC. Like, I wish there was a movie or a show about Zatanna Zatara. I mean, just imagine what you can do with Zatanna.
She's the magician, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, it, like, when I think of like what it could be, I'm thinking something around the lines of what's that magician movie that came out? Now You See Me, which, I mean, granted they don't have powers, but to think like they can incorporate some of those like visual effects, or it'd be fun to see her performing, because she's technically also like a stage magician too. So it'd be nice to see her show or her movie showcase that kind of stuff too, because I kind of found it kind of neat. Like when I was watching Now You See Me, like the tricks they would pull off and stuff, and it kind of makes you feel like you're there. I think it adds that sense. It would add that sense of like, oh my god, like wonder. You know, that sense of wonder in there. Like, how'd she do that?
This one, would you want to be dark also?
Not overly dark. I think I would want it to be right in the middle. Even though, granted, she does delve into the darker aspects of the DC universe, you know. But I don't think I would. I guess I wouldn't mind it if it was overly dark, you know. But I think there's so much potential. And then there was that show on Sci-Fi, The Magicians, you know, same concept, you know, people, you know, powers and whatnot, not like mutant powers, but.
Well, shoot, if you really want a dark movie about magicians, you can watch the Prestige.
Okay, which one's the one with where you?
The one with Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale.
Yes.
That one. Oh man, it doesn't get any darker than that. That one also, they didn't have superpowers or anything, but they did delve into like a very unethical, I guess, science fiction technology that started being implemented. And I don't want to, in case you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it, but I'm just saying, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. And they can pull influence from that type of movie. That's a great, I guess, example of if you wanted to go into the darker realm. I mean, yeah, it can be done with with magicians. It can be done.
And with Zatanna, you can also start to explore the mystical realm, the magic realm in the DC universe. Maybe you bring in Swamp Thing, you know, Deadman, like some of the members from the Justice League Dark, Constantine. Even though Constantine right now is on TV,
maybe Shade. The
villain,
the one with the.
I think his is more technology based, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it?
I think so. I need to. I'm not too
he
familiar
does
with
comes
Shade,
off as very like whimsical, like magician-y though, in my opinion.
Yeah, he does. But I think Zatanna show has so much to offer. You know, you start exploring these aspects of the DC universe that we kind of haven't seen. Kind of like how Guardians of the Galaxy introduced us to the Marvel world outside of Earth. Like the you know, Marvel out in space. I'm hoping that if they do create a Zatanna show, it would do the same thing that Guardians did for Marvel and you know.
Does DC have something like that sort of? Well, they got the Green Lantern Corps. They got the Green Lantern Corps. Then with Darkseid, they expanded to like New Genesis. Like so they did branch out into the universe.
Yeah, but I think that would be a solid show, and especially because now you need more, or I know people like these studios are trying to get more female-led TV shows out there. Yeah. They tried it with Batwoman. Honestly, I don't know why they went with Batwoman. They could have easily gone with Batgirl, the more popular of the two. And then with Ruby Rose, I think that was her name, exiting the show, and then they recast her with this other person. I'm like, I just feel like, why maybe just cancel the show and give us something else? Give us I think in this case, you know, Zatanna, or
I think it'd be nice if they went with more heroes that wasn't an extension of like the main one. Like, you know how like Superman's the main one and then it's like Supergirl? Yeah. You know what I mean? Kind of like an extension of Superman. I think heroes that just kind of stand on their own more, you know, would be better. And if you think that it's like, oh well, there isn't a lot of female superheroes to go on, like there actually is. You know, that they may not be as popular as other ones, but I mean, if you look at like, because there's like a thick book that like of DC and Marvel that goes through like all the superheroes, and there's so many, you know, so bring some of those to the forefront. Why the heck not?
Even if they're not well known, give it. I mean, that's one of the things Marvel does so well. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, before the movie, I can guarantee you that there weren't a lot of people who knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy were.
Nope.
Myself included, and then now look at them.
So it can be done. It can be done.
Yeah, they did that with the Winter Soldier too. It's like, you're telling me that everybody knew who the Winter Soldier was? Like people who weren't in. I didn't.
For me, Ant-Man. I never heard of Ant-Man until the show.
Ant-Man I had heard of.
I hadn't.
But Hank Pym's Ant-Man, not Scott Lang's Ant-Man. But regardless, yeah, like the only popular characters, I mean, that non-comic book readers would recognize would be like the Hulk, I know.
Yeah.
Captain America. Spider-Man. So Marvel did such a great job at like getting all these other characters that, you know, aren't really well known by the general public, and then turn them into
icons.
Yeah. Black Widow. I mean, geez.
Hawkeye. Yeah.
Hawkeye. It's crazy, and if I wish DC could kind of try to do the same thing Marvel's doing and try to build up lesser known characters.
Yeah, and then Marvel started delving deep into it as far as like TV shows. Like they brought in Luke Cage, the Jessica Jones,
Iron Fist.
The Iron Fist. They started really delving in, and that's the kind of stuff I like to see. Mm-hmm. I love seeing that, especially because even though they're not well known, they kind of start tying into the bigger universe. Like you start seeing their role of like maybe they will start interacting with like more popular heroes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that would be pretty cool.
So now that I've voiced my concern about, or not concern, but my throwing in my 2 cents about Zatanna, you got anyone else you wanna?
Yes, I do. And this is another one, even though I just said don't bring in people that are an extension of somebody else, but I think this would be a great, I guess, sequel to the character. Batman Beyond.
Yes, Terry McGinnis.
Batman Beyond. I like that one because to me it's the continuation of Batman. You know what I mean? Because even in the show, it's not as if we never saw Bruce Wayne ever again. You know, I liked how he was like still being like a mentor to the new one, and he's kind of like telling him how to be Batman, but at the same time it's like, but I'm not Batman. Like I'm kind of like Terry was like, I'm my own person too. Like I'm my own hero. You know, I want to follow in your footsteps, but I want to do it in my own way. Mm-hmm. So I felt like it was like it was still Batman, but it was just like, I think a step further than Robin. It was just like like the new Batman generation. I really liked it a lot, and I think there's a lot you can do with it, with that series. You know, bring in like kind of like fresh villains also. Yeah. You know, maybe younger ones people have like that ones that like you've never heard of. You know, shoot, if you have to make Joker have a kid or something that he can find in the future, you just never know. But I think it'd be cool because then I feel like you're kind of maybe appealing to like the younger generation too. Yeah, you know?
It could be a show more geared towards the younger generation and kind of like bring him into the fold of like comic books and the world of
and
DC.
And modernize it.
Yeah,
like, you know, like Batman Beyond comes out, like can you imagine them being like on smartphones and stuff, like just in the future? And then there was even a crossover with Static Shock. Yeah. Back in the day. So, and those are the two I happened to mention. If you think about that, get to see the connection. I don't know. I think that would be really cool. And the show, when it was airing, was really popular. You know, I didn't really find anybody that disliked it. I, as a kid, when I first saw it, was very skeptical. I'm like, oh, that's not Batman. But eventually, I was like, okay, yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah. Not bad.
And you know what? They can probably even tie it into Young Justice.
Ooh, yeah.
They could.
That would be nice if there was a live-action Young Justice show. I mean, right there. I mean, they have Titans, and I guess Titans can serve as Young Justice because they have Wonder Girl, they have Robin, of course, Beast Boy, Superboy. They don't have Megan though. Yeah, maybe in the future they'll bring her in, but I guess Titans can serve as
maybe
Young Justice.
Maybe a gateway into a segue into Young Justice.
Bringing in more of the characters from Young Justice in there.
I think hopefully a segue into Batman Beyond, and heck, even a segue into Static Shock. You can kind of start combining stories. That would be dope. I would watch it. I would watch that.
Yeah, me too.
I would watch that.
Well,
you got another one for me?
I got one more. I got one more. Now this one, because I heard about the casting, how they're recasting Superman, and they're gonna bring out a version of him that's already been in the comic books, the Black Superman, and I was thinking like, okay, why? So we already have our Superman. There's already a Superman. Why not focus your time on Jon Stewart, the Green Lantern? He is. I know there's Hal
man.
Jordan, Kyle Rayner, Guy Gardner, and then there's Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart is
That's my Green Lantern.
That was the first time I was exposed to the Green Lantern.
Me too. Was the show?
Yeah,
the
Justice League
show, and
he is such a badass.
He
like,
is.
And I'm just thinking, like, you have this gem of a character,
And everyone liked him. Everybody liked him. Everybody preferred him over the
other ones.
original. Yeah, I haven't met one person that didn't.
There's just something about Jon Stewart, like, because especially in the show, one of the things that made him a badass is even if he didn't have his ring, even if he didn't have his powers, he wasn't coward like in fear.
Hell no.
He would still, like, without powers, you know, he'd use his fist or he'd still jump into the fray. Like he didn't give a damn. Like
just throw me a rifle.
It's like, I'll do it.
Yeah, and that very iconic moment for me was when that episode when they went back into World War II.
Oh.
And his ring lost power. And like that one guy in the squad tried to push him around, and he just like took him to the ground. It's like, where'd you learn that? United States Marine Corps. Like, get the heck out of here. Like, I don't need the ring to kick your ass. And I thought that was like super cool.
Like his demeanor, you know, the way he carries himself, it's
his sense of justice, everything.
It's so great, and I don't know, I feel like they're squandering a golden opportunity to make a movie on him, you know.
Yeah, especially since the first Green Lantern kind of flopped. Like they need some kind of rejuvenation with it anyway. Why not bring him in?
Yeah, and you know, I mean, I know a lot right now, like as I mentioned earlier, they are pushing for more representation, and you have this character, you know, that is just, it's just like he is. I feel like he's more fleshed out than the Superman that they're trying to bring in, whether it be through the cartoon or through the comics. He is a fully fleshed out character. We know who we're getting if you're giving us a Green Lantern movie with Jon Stewart.
That's a very good point. If you want to bring in more diverse cast into the universe, like different races, different this, why not bring in people that already have a strong identity, like Jon Stewart, like Static Shock?
Yeah.
Why instead they're rehashing heroes and just changing their race, which is like, why if you already have original characters like from the past that did really well, that people love these characters. I just don't get why they're so hesitant. I don't get it.
Well, I know that for the Snyder Cut they did tease like, oh, there's gonna be like a special what do you call it, like a appearance or something to that effect. I'm hoping that if it's a Green Lantern, that it's Jon Stewart. That would be so cool.
Awesome.
That would be so cool if it was Jon Stewart. But yeah, there's just so much you can do with that character. You can, because even in the show, you still see him like in his neighborhood, and I don't know. I feel like his show can dive into like the Black community that he grew up in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Give us a glimpse as to like what his world is like here on Earth, and contrast that with his life out there in space.
That would be cool.
As a Green Lantern, and I don't know. There's just so much potential for good stories to be told with that Green Lantern character.
There is. I will say though, if they gotta get the casting on point. I mean that. Oh man, I can't see. No offense to him, but I can't see someone like Michael B. Jordan doing Jon Stewart, the Green Lantern.
He has to be someone much older, like maybe someone in his 40s, someone who already looked kind of seasoned, maybe late 30s.
I want to say that Jon Stewart in Justice League was like in his early to mid 30s, maybe.
I would say so.
Yeah, and he had a very mature demeanor to him. You know what I mean? Like he meant business. Whatever he did, he took his role very seriously.
It's kind of like,
he was like the opposite of the Flash.
Yeah, way different.
Yeah, Flash was basically an overgrown teenager.
Yeah, and I guess his whole demeanor it has to do with his time in the army, because he's very well disciplined.
Oh, Marines.
There you go. The Marines. My apologies.
Yeah,
my apologies.
You don't want to offend the.
No. No, but yeah, I think a lot of that comes from his time in the Marines. Because that's his demeanor is just so like, he's so disciplined, so focused. To a certain extent, he's very no nonsense.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Which I like, and when the going gets tough, like he rolls up his sleeves and he's like, let's let's do it. And I think that's why I like him so much, and that's why he's my favorite Green Lantern. Actually, he's my favorite Lantern from all the cores, really. But don't let me down. Make a movie, make a show. Just show us something with Jon Stewart. This is a Latino asking you for this, please.
Latinos.
Asking,
yes.
And if he has a funny Latino partner, I wouldn't mind. Representation for Latinos right here.
Throwing Blue Beetles.
Hire, what's his name, Michael Peña? Yeah.
Oh my God.
Michael Peña can be his sidekick. I would like that.
I don't know about
I would
Michael
like
Peña,
that.
but anyway, but yes, bring in Jon Stewart. I would love to see that. Bring in Batman Beyond. Bring in Static Shock.
Yep. Bring in Zatanna
DC.
Zatara.
I just realized.
I know
this was a DC thing, but
maybe we should make one for Marvel. I didn't know it was gonna go DC all the way.
Neither did I. I didn't realize, but.
Yeah.
Hey, they need it. DC does need.
We need to play catch up. We need to popularize some of these characters or reintroduce them to a new crowd.
For sure, and maybe now thinking about it, maybe that is kind of the reason why they haven't, because maybe they feel like they haven't had the breakout success maybe that Marvel movies had, because Marvel, I guess, can afford a few flops here or there.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? They can, I guess, they have wiggle room to afford trying out new things. And if it doesn't fail, it's like, oh, we still have our core movies that we know are going to sell. Yeah. Maybe DC feels that they don't quite have that cushion. Maybe. See, let me know what you think about that.
Marvel has Black Panther. Give DC Jon Stewart.
Yes. Or Static Shock.
Or Static Shock. But yeah. Sorry this video ran too long. I didn't know we had so much to say about these characters.
Yeah, we definitely did.
But we hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, let us know in the comments. Is there any characters you want to see live action?
Do you agree, disagree with ours? I mean, let us know.
Who's your favorite Green Lantern, huh? Who's your favorite magician? There's only one.
There's got to be more.
No, there are more.
More magic people in general. But anyway.
Yeah, we hope you guys, like I said, enjoyed this, and we hope you guys come back. Ooh, that kind of felt nice. To the Oasis.
The Entertainment Oasis. Peace out.
Peace out.